How did ancient humans actually handle their anger? Picture this. This 40,000 years ago, your hunting partner stole the best cut of meat. Again, the elder of the tribe just publicly humiliated you in front of everyone you know. Your shelter was damaged and nobody helped you fix it. You are furious. No HR department. No Instagram rant. No therapy. No legal system. What do? The answer is more sophisticated and more violent and more beautiful than anything you'd expect. And it will completely reframe what you think you know about human anger. We've been sold a fantasy about ancient humans, that they were impulsive, violent, primitive creatures who erupted at the slightest provocation. That fantasy is mostly wrong. Here's the truth. Anger management is one of the oldest human technologies. Not a modern invention. Not a luxury of civilization. A survival tool that our ancestors refined over hundreds of thousands of years, because uncontrolled anger in a small group of 30 people was catastrophic. An ancient human who flew into unchecked rages didn't become a leader. They became a problem. And problems, in groups that small and fragile, were handled. What anger does to the ancient brain. First, let's understand what was actually happening in their bodies. When ancient humans perceived a threat, social betrayal, stolen food, disrespect, the amygdala fired. Cortisol and adrenaline flooded the system. Blood moved away from the prefrontal cortex, the rational brain, and toward the muscles. In 2 seconds, a human body is prepared to fight or flee. This is the same process happening inside you right now when someone cuts you off in traffic. You are using a 300,000-year-old stress response to manage a modern annoyance. No wonder it feels overwhelming. For ancient humans, this response was genuinely useful. But it needed to be directed or it destroyed everything. Response 1. The walk. The single most documented anger management technique across hunter-gatherer cultures studied by anthropologists is extraordinarily simple. They walked away. This isn't weakness or avoidance. It's physiological intelligence. Walking, rhythmic, repetitive movement, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's calm-down mechanism. It literally metabolizes the cortisol and adrenaline flooding your bloodstream. Ancient humans didn't know the neurochemistry, but they observed the result. A person who walked for 20 minutes before confronting someone made a better decision. Every time. The Kung San of Southern Africa, studied for decades as a model of early human social behavior, explicitly described taking a walk as the expected response to interpersonal conflict. Elders taught it to children. It was cultural technology. Response 2. The physical release. Not all anger walked itself out quietly. Archaeological evidence, fractured animal bones, damaged stone tools, and what appear to be percussion markings on cave walls that serve no decorative purpose, suggests that ancient humans also physically expressed anger. They broke things. They beat things. They made noise. This isn't primitive rage. This is, again, physiological wisdom. Physical exertion consumes the stress hormones that fuel anger. Hitting something non-sentient doesn't create new social damage. It discharges the energy. Therapists today call this somatic release. It has a 40,000-year head start in human practice. Response 3. Social mediation. Here is the most sophisticated part. Ancient human groups didn't leave conflict resolution to the individuals involved. They had a mechanism that functioned like a combination of therapy, court, and community theater. It was the public airing. Around the fire, with witnesses present, the aggrieved parties would state their case. Loudly, sometimes emotionally, but within a structured social framework. Elders would listen. The community would observe. And then, critically, a resolution would be proposed not by the disputants but by the group. Anthropologist Christopher Boehm, in his landmark study of hunter-gatherer egalitarianism, found that ancient groups consistently intervened to prevent any single individual from accumulating too much power or expressing too much unchecked aggression. Communities policed anger collectively. You weren't allowed to just be furious and destructive. The group had too much at stake. Response 4. The songs of anger. This one will stay with you. Multiple anthropological studies of surviving hunter-gatherer cultures reveal the existence of what can only be described as anger songs. Structured, rhythmic vocalizations performed, sometimes publicly, as a formalized expression of grievance. In some cultures, a person wronged by another could perform a public song of criticism. The target of the song was expected to sit and listen, publicly, without retaliating. This created a safe channel for anger that acknowledged the emotion as real and valid while preventing it from becoming physical violence. Some researchers believe that the earliest human music may have emerged precisely from this function. Not celebration, not religion, but the need to express emotion that would otherwise destroy the community. Ancient humans sang their anger. And it worked. What this tells us about ourselves. Modern humans are experiencing an anger crisis. Road rage, online hate, political violence. The data is unambiguous. Collective anger is rising and our tools for managing it are failing. Because we abandoned the ancient technologies. We stopped walking. We stopped having mediated community conversations. We replaced the anger song with the anonymous comment section. And then we're surprised that it doesn't work. The next time you feel that ancient fire rising in your chest, remember, your ancestors built entire cultural systems around this exact feeling. They took it seriously. They gave it space. And then they found ways to move through it without burning everything down. You can too. What did ancient humans know about anger that we've forgotten? Leave your thoughts below. I want to hear what resonates. And subscribe to Mr. Hell, where every week we go deeper into the real, raw human story that most history books are too afraid to tell.